Okay, you guys, what you see before you are some of my scraps, my scrap yarn. And I wanted you guys to see this because what I do in the process of me going to my crochet stash, my extra yarn stash, whatever you want to call it, this is what I do. The first and foremost thing, I figure out what I want to make. From a blanket to a bag, another blanket or individual grannies, or just one big granny. So my very first thing is I want to make a plan. So when I get to this part, when I gotta touch my yarn, which is awesome and beautiful, I start picking what size of yarn do I need. Usually I try to stay within the same size of yarn, because when you're making grannies, if I was to take this yarn and take this yarn, then this yarn is super bulky, this yarn is super thin, so that just wouldn't work. It just wouldn't look right. So yeah, so what I do is I separate it. So I would, like, from this one, I would take this yarn, I would take this one, because as you can see, it is the same weight of yarn, or the same size of yarn, right? This one right here, this one will come as well. And so basically, you guys, that's what I do. I separate my yarns out, find out if I have enough stash to make what I want to make. And if I don't, then I'll just go to my other yarn. I'll use my stash with my other yarns to create what I need to create. But this is the process that I use when I'm working with my stash. Okay, and the good thing about that is with a granny square, I don't too much care about if it's wool or if it's acrylic or if it's a blend of yarns. Whatever the weight is, and I know I say weight, but for my beginners, you guys probably don't know what that is. So for the size of the yarn, then that's what I would use, more than anything when it comes to me working with my stash. Okay, so that's the first and foremost. We got to have a plan, you guys. Okay, you guys, let's do our granny square. So I got my yarn, I got my hook, and so I'm gonna make my slip knot. And guys, there are so many ways to make a slip knot. So I make mine like this. I just wrap the yarn around my fingers twice, 1 and 2, and then I take the back loop and I take it over my index finger, and then I take this loop right here over the index and my other finger. And as I'm doing that motion, you guys, I'm literally taking this up with my thumb, and then I pull it out. But like I said, there is many ways to a slip knot, you guys. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my hook and I'm going to put it in my first chain. Okay, so let's do that. And we have this kind of moon looking thing right here. We have 2 loops on our hook, and then so I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to pull it through, and that'll give us our ring. Okay, and so here is our ring right here. Okay, so let's chain 2, 1 and 2, and so this is the first. We're gonna make 3 double crochets, but this is the first one, and this usually happens on your when you begin right here. So I'm gonna do 2 double crochets inside of the ring. So yarn over, put your hook inside your ring, bring up a loop, and you have 3 loops on your hook. And we're going to yarn over. We're going to go through 2, yarn over, and go all the way through. And that is a double crochet. Okay, so do that. We're going to do that motion again. Yarn over. We're going to go through the ring. We're going to bring up our loop, and we have 3 loops on our hook, and we're going to yarn over. We're going to go through 2. We're going to yarn over, and we're going to go all the way through, right? And see, there's our 3 double crochets. Okay, so then we're going to chain 1, and so we're going to do this 3 more times. Okay, so yarn over, go through 2, go through 2, yarn over, go through the ring. You have 3 loops on your hook, go through 2, go all the way through. Yarn over, we're going to go through our ring there, come up, let's go through 2, go through 2, and we have 3, so chain 1. Okay, you guys, so we have our 4. 1, 2, 3. One more. Put the one more in there. Our 4. Okay, so now what we're going to do, this right here is our tail. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pull that a little bit. And now we're going to join. You're going to join in your first chain, which is right here, and so you want to yarn over and you want to pull it all the way through. Okay, and so we have this ring. Now I always say, if you are doing a granny square, I'm going to pull my tail some more. If you are doing a granny square, if you look for the cross in your granny square, you know you did it right. Okay, so here's our cross right here, right? So that means you did it right, right? Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2. Okay, so I wanted to tell you guys, I'm left-handed, as you guys may know and see, and if you follow me, then you do know that already. But if you don't, I am left-handed, and so for some crocheters, they slip stitch over to the next space, because we're going to have to work in our next spaces right here. Okay, and so we have a space right here as well. Okay, so when we working in these spaces, some crocheters that they slip stitch over to the next space. Now what I do, I actually turn my work to this side, to the back side. I actually turn it and I start working in that loop, and I go around that way, and when I come back up, I turn my work that way, back to the front way. Now in a granny square, there is a front way and a back way. Okay, so you can tell, if you've been crocheting for a while, you can tell which is the front and the back. I've been doing mine like this for a while, and I like it. It gives it character, because you have one round that is the right way, and you have another round which is the back way. But you know, it's what you like. And if you like, you know, if you want it all to be this front way like this, that's fine. And if you want to do it the way I do it, where you have the front and the back, you know, I'll show you what that looks like when we finish with it. I mean, that's fine, long as you make the granny square. And learn how to make the granny square. Sometimes I hate putting, you know, stipulations on things, because I believe creativity don't have that. Stipulations. It's what you like. So I turn mine and I work right in here. Okay, so now we're going to start making our corners. Okay, so like I told you before, this right here is your first double crochet, and I'm going to put 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, you guys, right here, this is what we did. We put 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and then we put our chain 1, and then 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and so we're going to do that on each space. So right here, right there, and then right here. Okay, so let's do that. Give me some yarn. Okay, you guys. So we made it. We made it. Okay, so right here, as you see, we got our corners. Right here, we have our corners. And so now what we're going to do, we're going to join our work. Okay, so chain 1, and we're going to put it in the first chain, which is right there. Okay, in our first chain, and we're going to slip stitch. And look, there you go, you guys. We've done the granny square. Okay. All right, you guys, let's join. So now we made our plan and stuff. So now let's join our blocks together, our granny squares. And I wanted to show you guys. You see, this is the front right here. And then this right here is the back. And you can tell, you know, the back, because just the way it looks, it's just a different side. I mean, and the thing is, if you like this side, you can lay them all down on that side. And then this is the front side. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do now to join them, I'm going to put right sides to right sides, okay? And why I say that is this chain that's going around this, the block is visible. You see, if you turn it around, it's not visible, right? So I'm gonna right here, so I'm gonna put right sides to right sides. I'm gonna turn it, and so what I do, you guys, is that let me thread my yarn to my yarn needle. Right? Simple, simple. And what I do is I take the two corners. So I take the corners and I join them where the opening is. But I join them, I don't join them just like right here. I fold them down and I go through both of the loops, right, of the V's. And so right here, I go in the front because that's already laid, you know, facing up. And so I go right here because this is where the opening is, and I take it through both of those. And I only do this on the beginning and on the ending of the square, okay? And how I do this part is I take my, I continue to pull, and when my tail reached this middle section right here, I stop because I'm giving myself you know, a longer tail so I can weave it in as I'm making my blanket, and I'm putting them on top of each other. I will actually sew this inside as I'm crocheting it down, or you know, seaming it up like I'm doing right now, because there are so many ways that you can you know, seam this up. So let's get right into this. Okay, and so right here I actually go through here again. So I'm going to go through here again, and let me show you what that does. You see that? It actually makes that, I don't pull it really tight, but it actually makes another loop on here. I have done blankets with granny squares, you guys, and they have come apart, and I'm like, what in the world? And so I always put an anchor, as I call it, right here, okay? And so how I join them, like I said, there is many ways to join your granny squares, but I'm going to join this way. So I take the front loop of the V on this one, and then the back loop on the one that's facing up, because this right here is the front loop of the one facing up, and this is the back loop, which is right here. And so I take the front loop, because the back loop is right here on that one. So I take the front loop of the first V and the back loop on the granny that's facing up. And then I just pull that, you guys. I just pull that. Not so, you don't want to pull it tight at all. Let me move everything, angle it so you can see me. Yeah, and I just continue to do this motion. And I just want to let you guys know, this is so relaxing for me. I really enjoy joining granny squares. It's just something about the motion of it, pulling it through, you know, just so relaxing to me. And yeah, and I just continue to go down. And you know, it doesn't take a lot of time to do this motion, you know, to do your granny squares. It just doesn't. And you're gonna enjoy it anyway when you join your squares. It's just so gratifying. Let me move that coming on down. It's just like I was saying, it's so gratifying to do this. Now I'm gonna show you. Well, no, I'm doing it this way. Because there's like so many ways that you can join a granny square. You can do it with your crochet needle, where you can do a slip knot. You can do a single crochet. It's just, it won't be flat. Actually, I'm going to show you what a slip stitch one look like. Let me go ahead and finish this one right here. Okay, so right here, we're at the end of it. And so what I do is I come to the end of the last V's. This is the last V over here, and this is the last be right here. So I go through both of those loops. I go under the V, the whole V. See how you can see that? I go under both of them. And remember what I was saying, under both of them. So, because it anchors it. And I don't want, nope, coming out. So, I'll do that again. And there we go. See how pretty does that look? Looks so nice. And it gives it's more flat. Sorry y'all, I hit the camera. But it's just flat, and on the back as well. See how that looks on the back? So nice, so nice, so nice. So now let me show you, if you was to do join your squares with a slip knot, let me show you what that looks like. So I've done one right here, right? And this is what it looks like, the slip knot. Okay, so it's just a little taller, just, you know, slightly a little taller, right? So if you was to do a single crochet, then it'll be slight taller. So it is up to you how you want to join it. If you like these ridges here, you can, you know, that's a beautiful look. I've done blankets like that with this ridge as well. Or if you want it flat like this, you will use your yarn needle and stitch it the way I just stitched this one up right here. Okay, you guys? Okay, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you like the video, give me a big thumbs up, you guys. If you like what I'm doing on my channel, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that bell symbol when it pops up. Take it all the way to the top, to all, so you can be notified each time I upload a video, you guys. Okay, well, that is it for me. I will see you guys on the next video. And remember, when you're working with your hands, you always have peace within your heart. I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.